Welcome to Broc's podcast. I'm your host, Broc. When I introduce myself, people never understand what I say. And it's so annoying. My name is Broc. It's very simple. And it's to the point where I feel like I'm doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, people think I say rock. People will just say, what was it? What was it? And I shouldn't necessarily be annoyed with that, but it happens too frequently not to be annoyed. It's 4 letters, and it's one syllable. It's very simple. But every single time, someone always says, what, or get it wrong, ask me to repeat it. So, I'm your host, Broc. BROC. And that's it. Welcome to my podcast. And we're going to get it cracking. I'm 30 now. And I'm not old because age is a mindset, but I'm getting older because that's how numbers work, obviously. And that's how aging works. But I'm not old, but I am getting older. And I coach. So I'm around a various age of people and athletes. One thing I've noticed in the last 2-3 years, I'm getting out of touch with the lingo, with the younger demographics way of speaking and what words mean. And I'll be honest, it is getting out of hand. These kids are wild. One of the words that I've recently discovered is glazing. Yeah, the word is glazing. And if you don't know what it means, I'm about to tell you. And you're like me. I have the definition here pulled up. This is on Google, but the next link is TikTok. So I don't know where exactly this information is coming from. So Google, TikTok, maybe, I don't know. In the slang world, glazing means to overpraise or overcompliment someone to the point of being cringy or obscuritious. Obscuritious. I didn't know that was a word. I've heard of obscurity, but not obscuritious. It is often used to describe someone who is trying to win someone else's favor or approval. Now, when I was younger, we called it writing. This generation has taken that and then went a step further. And I guess it's just the way of whatever, because I'm sure older folks when I was younger said the same thing, like, y'all little weirdos are nasty, yada, yada, yada. But in my mind, and maybe it's me, that's an even worse way to describe it. Okay, I got to look up this word, obscuritious, just to make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's unbelievable. And there's been other words that I've discovered, or like, say there'll be an interaction. Like one time, a group of athletes that I was coaching, they asked me if I was a certain term. Now, I picked up on the fact that they were using it in a different way because it was a general word. So I didn't answer. I was like, I don't know what that means. I don't know how you're using it, so I'm not going to answer that. I don't know. And there's been several instances like that. So I'm just getting to that age, I guess. Yeah, that's not a word. Obscuritious is not a word. So look, I'm going to say that first definition came from TikTok. And it doesn't even make sense to go there. Obscurity is the state of being unknown, inconspicuous, unimportant. All right, so let me go back to this first definition. To the point of being cringy or obscurious. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. All right, so TikTok, you're out of here, bud. Check your sources. But anyways, I guess I'm getting to that age to where I'm just out of the loop. And I guess I'm just going to be that old head. And a couple years ago, there was a pretty disgusting song out by a younger artist. And I'm not kidding. It's the first time it ever happened. I'll never forget it. I was on my lunch break. I'm like driving to get some food and go back to work. And I hadn't heard the song before. And all of a sudden, the song comes on. And I was like, I immediately, let me see. Let's go to the YouTubes. Because I'm going to play it a little bit. And I don't know all the rules about playing music and stuff on podcast, so I might have to blur all this out, which good, because this song is absolutely disgusting. I mean, it's the first line I was like, what? The second line I hit pause and said, what the is this shit? Okay. And right now I'm playing the music video, and let me tell you something. I am 29 seconds in. The first few seconds don't even count. I mean, good God. The the image that I have this paused on is unbelievable. I'm 29 seconds in, really like a few seconds into the song. I'm pretty sure this is the. Hold on one second. Let me pull up the lyrics. Even though I feel like this is like, good God. Well, I don't even know why I'm talking about this right now. This is making me sweat. This. I'm here now. I'm just gonna get through it. I'm gonna express my mind. Oh my God. I've never listened to this whole song before because I just couldn't do it. Because I simply just could not do it. All right, here we go. Let's just try to get through it. Lord forgive me. Oh my good Lord in heaven above. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. I don't know. I wish I did not. I wish I had not even started this. Okay, I'm not doing it. I can't. I'm not going to listen to those songs. I'm just going to. Wow. Rip off my shirt if you love me. Okay. All right. Spit in my face when you. Don't do that shit to me. Let me tell you something right now. You don't bring that weird shit around me at all. Okay. This next line, and I really am sorry for repeating this. Play with my while you fuck me. And I'm just all right. Big energy I give it. Don't believe me? Come feel it. Put this here in your kidney, please, and hush it like some kidney beans. I don't even know what that means, man. I don't even know what that means. My I'm sweating so bad right now, guys. I'm sweating so bad. Come chickpea me. Why are you being weird to me? She's the one being weird. Okay. All right. And this is where I stopped the music this time because this is the furthest I've gotten to date. Put your ass in my face till I get pink eye. Hey, what are we doing? Hey. What are we saying? What is this music? Is this music now? Am I the old guy who says this is not music now? Am I the guy? I'll wear the cape. I don't care. I'm not trying to save it, but I'll wear the uniform. I'll be the old guy who says this is weird. This is uncalled for. Okay, I'm not playing the video anymore. I'm just going to read some of these lyrics because this is Okay, I don't know if I can read the lyrics. The next one says, F you anywhere, I'm that type guy. At the church. Unbelievable. Lord forgive us. Lord forgive us and help us. On the plane at the basketball game. I don't care. Obviously not, brother. Obviously you don't. Like that was made clear a long time ago. Ever a vegan? D? Baby, come taste me. Promise that my it tastes like sugar gravy. Who is in charge of approving this music? Who is it? Who is it? Does he have any friends? Does he have any friends that's like, maybe? And then the next line is him referencing that he's well endowed again. Fat little all matter. There's kids out there, man. Kids listen to this, man. This is unbelievable. Meat to meat, wall to wall. To my dog. Hey, let me tell you something. This is bullshit. Oh, and that's it. That's it. That's the whole song. And they do the pre-chorus and then the chorus. And then he's out. And then he's out. This is just uncalled for. The music video is basically pornography and I guess I'm that guy now. Who does not approve of a lot of the newer generation's version of rap music. Like I'm not even joking. I hardly listen to any new rapper. And I'm not saying there are not good ones out there. It's just that stuff like this has turned me all the way off from it. And I don't want to participate. I do not want to participate. I don't have much else to say about it, man. I mean, it's just goodness gracious. Holy moly. I am 30 years old. So anyways, how we doing? I hope everybody's doing well today. Thank you for tuning in. Jesus. Man, that got me nice and sweaty, nervous. Wow. And I'm moving on. I'm moving on. It just kind of throwed me a little bit. Throwed me off a little bit. And then I was looking weird at this because Kai Cenat in this thumbnail, like, or just right underneath the video, it says celebrating Northwest's 11th birthday. That dude's 22. What are we doing? What are we doing? That's just weird to me. I feel like he's going to catch some heat for that because he's surrounded by like a group of 11-year-old girls. That just looks weird to me, especially in today's climate. That just looks weird. Speaking of which, man, this older gentleman, he wasn't a gentleman. I was getting a coffee from Dunkin and I'm in line. And before I walk in, or as I walk in to go up to the front counter to order, there's like a big group of what looks to be middle school age, maybe like, I don't know the age. They were young. They were young girls, and I think they were like a cheerleading team or something like that. It looks like they were traveling. And a janitor or a custodian that worked at the place came by and did something like outside and came back in. And on his way back in, he like kind of tapped me with the towel and he was like, "You'll get an eyeful today, won't you?" And I made the face like this. And I didn't know what to say because I took it as he was implying that he was looking at the young girls in a way that was disgusting. And I was floored, and I made that face like that to him, and I went like that. And in retrospect, I really wish I would have had the ability to be like, "Hey, don't be perverted, idiot," and put him in his place. But I just was like, "What?" And also, there was like a couple parents or guardians like right in front of me that was um what's the word, chaperoning this group. And I can't believe this man had the audacity, obviously, to first think it, but then times 100 say it out loud in such close proximity. And what I should have done was punch him in his throat, but I didn't. I was just so thrown off by him even just saying it. Like, I could not believe it. But yeah, be careful out there because there are perverts freaking everywhere. I have a daughter now, so I think about that all the time, and I'll be the first to tell you I will go to jail if my daughter had been around there, and that man said that to me. I would have, and I would have him right then and there in that Dunkin Donuts, and not felt. I would have then ordered my coffee because I would have felt zero remorse for doing it, and he was a little bit older. It didn't matter. Sick is sick. All right, moving on to a lighter subject because now I'm getting worked up. Worked myself up here. Oh, and then I guess I was having a day that day because after that I go to a grocery store because I needed some water and some Pedialyte because I take hydration seriously. Okay, and this cashier, and this is like one of my pet peeves. And this is, I know I probably shouldn't, get upset about it or worked up about it, but I do. But I do. On this particular day, I had several small bills. I go to get what I got, and it was like $8 and some change. So I count out in front of her $9. Okay. She sees me. I see her seeing me. And I count it twice. I do the and I did not lick my fingers because if you do that, you're gross. I used to get so mad when teachers would come around passing out papers or giving back work and they would lick their fingers. That's nasty. That's nasty. I don't want to smell your coffee breath or whatever on my piece of paper. I don't want your germs on my paper. I mean, I know I made 100 anyways, most of the time, but don't lick your finger and give me back my piece of paper. Do something different. Put some lotion or something on your hands before you start passing stuff out. But anyways, I did not, but I counted down $9. But because sometimes they stick together, when I took the 9 away from my stack and I counted it out again, one by one, $9. Like I said, she saw me do it twice because she's watching me. She's waiting on the payment. And guess what she does the moment she gets that money in her hand? She counts it again. Now, I'm not pissed. 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 Okay? I'm not pissed. But I'm a little annoyed. I'm a little annoyed. Because, lady, sweetheart, sweetie doll, sweet person. There's no need. There's no need for me to count it twice and for you to count it a third time. Okay? There is simply no need. And what that says to me in my mind is that although I counted it out twice, you don't trust that I can count to freaking 9. Okay? So, not only did I waste my time counting it at all, I should have just said, here's all my money. You just count out 9 of it. You just count out 9 or a 5 and 4, whatever however you see best fit, because you are the professional counter, and I'm just gonna let you do it. I'm not gonna waste my time doing it because I'm stupid. 1, 2, you do it because you got it. Because you got it. I don't. Because I don't. I can't. And it just annoys the Bejebus out of me. I don't even know if I said that word right. Bejebus? I think I said Bejebus. Okay. Anyways, it annoys that out of me. All right. But I was still cordial. I was still polite. Once she double checked my double checked work, which would have been at that point triple checked because I'm decent at numbers, after the money was triple checked and it passed her, certification and all of the processes of 9 single bills to be put in the cash register at this small grocery store. After she deemed it was appropriate and righteous, she gave me my change. And I told her to have a great day. And I got out of there. And then I went home. And that's the end of that story. But it just, boy, does that rub me the wrong way. And maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. But I don't like that. I just don't like that. And another thing that gets on my nerves is when you hand them a bill that's not like a single or a 5 or a 10. And listen, I get it. Okay. People just do their jobs. People are just doing their jobs. But when I hand them a 20 and they, out of 20, okay, all right. First of all, get the little pen. Get the little Sharpie looking marker that all you got to do is the one little. I'm okay with that. No problem. But don't sit there and have a conference and don't hold it up to the light like you work for the freaking bureau or something like that. Like, or is it the treasury? You know what I mean. Don't don't act like that. Don't do that. Don't do it in front of me. Okay, I'm not handing you fake money. And I don't know if you know this, and I don't know this, but counterfeiters are pretty good these days. And they can make that little ghost appear on the fake stuff too. So, professional, get the little marker and be a quick little dun, and let me be on my way. Okay? Wow, I have a lot of animosity when it comes to cashiers because I said something that also perturbs me. I think that's the right word. Let me double check because I like words and I like knowing words. Yeah, perturb. Perturb. Another thing that perturbs me, which means to make someone anxious or unsettled, is when you hand them the money and then they say, so say this is the 20. Where'd my fake money go? When they're like, oh, that'll be 1564. And you go, okay, here. And they say, out of 20? Yeah, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Was that a 20? I thought it was a 50. I thought it was 100. You want to check that again? It says it on the freaking money, okay? And we've been here. We've been here long enough to know the difference. Or you don't even have to say that at all. Just run the money. Just run the money. And listen, I really did not mean to make this a rant podcast, but that's just how it happened. It's just how it happened, and I apologize to no one. No, I'm just kidding. That's not how it's always going to be. And what I'm going to do, this is another thing that I want to do on this podcast. A couple things I want to do on this podcast is shed a positive outlook as well. But I just observe things and I like to talk about it. and, kind of get stuff off my chest or whatever. And I find it humorous. Like, obviously, it gets on my nerves and stuff like that, but it's funny. Like, I laugh to myself in those situations because it's like, and I'm never rude to anybody or anything like that. So, like, when that happens or whatever, and they're staring at the money and conferencing and talking about it, I just laugh to myself. It's just like, man, this is comical. This is funny that they're doing this right now. And so, like I'm ranting about it, obviously, in the comfort of my own home, but I would never do anything malice or anything like that to people who are working those jobs and things like that. But anyways, a couple things that I want to do on this podcast is, shed some positivity, because if you follow me on social media, I'm very big in positive mindset and things like that. So I want to do that. And then I also want to have segments to where people send in questions or comments or whatever, and I just talk about that for subject matter and content purposes. And maybe some advice. I know there's a bunch of advice podcasts out there, but it does make for good content, and I feel like I give great advice. So I do want to do that as well. And so let's see. I think I've talked enough today, and I just want to end on a positive note. And since it is Juneteenth, and I did not really talk about that, and that was like one of the big things I did want to talk about, I'm going to end this podcast with a quote from Arthur Ashe, not Archer. Okay, Arthur Ashe. And Arthur Ashe was he was a tennis player, and I think he had a pretty successful, tennis career. Let's see. Yeah. Arthur Robert Ashe Jr. was an American professional tennis player. He won 3 Grand Slam titles in singles and 2 doubles. Ashe was the first black player selected to the United States Davis Cup team and the only black man ever to win the singles titles at Wimbledon, the U.S. Open, and the Australian Open. So I just wanted to leave y'all with a quote from him, and it says, "Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can." And that speaks to me, especially with the last few months of my life. No matter what you're going through, no matter what you're trying to do, like you said, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. And like I said, it speaks to me because that's exactly what I've been trying to do. And just like this podcast, y'all should see the setup that I have going on right here. It is very makeshift, and it is very creative, to say the least. And, I've been trying to do something like this for a long time. And here it is. And so if you listen to this, thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm going to try to keep it rocking. This is a creative outlet for me, and I'm going to have fun doing it. I've had fun setting it up and trying to get it to this point. And so, I'm going to try to keep it rocking. I'm going to try to keep getting better and better at it, week to week or wherever. I don't know if I'll be able to post consistently or not, but I'm definitely going to try. What that consistency may be, I have no idea. Once a week, once a month, twice a month. I don't know yet. But anyways, I'm going to try to make it entertaining as possible and hopefully helpful in some ways and things of that nature. So if you have any suggestions or comments for me, please feel free to submit them either directly or a comment or something like that. Do what you do. Help me out if you will. Like I said, just thank you again for sitting with me for just a little bit of time. And I hope to have your support as we go through this. I'm excited about it. Looking forward to doing it, even if it's, for a handful of people or just for myself. Thank you again. And as always, peace and love.